Thinking of exiting your business or taking on a private equity partner to help you grow faster? BizNexus has you covered. Tap into our network of thousands of best-fit investors, acquirers, and proven M&A advisors, and we'll help you begin the relationship confidentially on your terms, your timeline. Learn more at biznexus.com.
Disclaimer from the always present legal team. Podcast conversations don't necessarily reflect the views of BizNexus Incorporated. Everything you hear is informational news and updates from around the industry. We're not recommending any investments. We're not offering any investment advice. Be sure to do your own homework.
Okay, so when we talk about mergers and acquisitions, the news always seems to focus on those massive deals.
Right.
The ones worth billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, the ones that everybody's talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You probably think of those too, right?
I do.
But what if we explore a different side of M&A today?
Okay.
What if there's a whole world of M&A happening?
Yeah.
That often slips under the radar?
Interesting.
But according to some really smart analysis out there,
Okay.
it can actually offer some really impressive returns.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So let's dive into what's called the lower middle market of M&A.
All right, the lower middle market.
Exactly, and we're specifically talking about transactions
Okay.
that usually fall between $10 million and $500 million.
Okay, got it.
And, it's a pretty big chunk of the entire M&A landscape.
Yeah, makes sense.
But often, overshadowed by those mega deals we were just talking about.
Right, I see.
But there's this article by Patrick Galleher, who's the managing partner of Boxwood Partners.
Interesting.
And he wrote this piece for Forbes Finance Council.
Okay.
And he really lays out why this lower middle market is becoming like a hotspot for investors right now.
That's really interesting.
And just so you know, Boxwood Partners,
Yeah.
they specialize in what are called sell-side transactions, which means they work with companies that are looking to be acquired.
Right.
So they help them find the right buyers and negotiate the best possible deal.
Oh, wow. So Galleher really has a unique perspective on this.
Exactly. He's seeing it from the other side of the table.
Yeah, that's valuable insight.
So our goal today is to kind of unpack Galleher's expertise.
Okay, sounds good.
And really understand, why this lower middle market can be so attractive for investment.
Yeah, what are the real advantages there?
Right, like what makes these deals, which are often much smaller than what we see in the headlines,
right?
What makes them so appealing?
Yeah, I'm curious.
So let's start with something Galleher highlights as like a key advantage.
Right.
Agility.
Really, agility.
Okay. And this is where the contrast with those giant corporations becomes really interesting.
Okay.
So, lower middle market companies, they tend to not be weighed down by layers and layers of management.
Yeah, less bureaucracy.
Exactly. And they usually have these much leaner structures.
Okay.
Which allows them to be way more agile.
I see.
They can pivot quickly and adapt to all these changing market conditions we see.
Right, because the business world is constantly in flux.
It really is. And, it's not just about reacting fast. It's about spotting those small trends.
Oh, those little opportunities.
The ones that larger companies might miss entirely.
Because they're just too big to notice them.
Exactly. And that can lead to some serious growth in very specific areas.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And when we think about the economy today, with all the supply chain issues we hear about constantly.
Right, and like consumer behavior changing so fast.
All the time, it feels like everything's in flux.
It really does.
And because these more nimble companies aren't these huge, slow-moving ships,
right,
they can actually adjust course super fast.
Almost in real time.
Yeah. And from an investor standpoint, if you're looking at potential acquisitions, this agility becomes a big selling point.
I can see why.
Because you're not taking on this giant, complex organization.
Right. It's not like untangling a knot.
Exactly. You're getting a streamlined operation that's ready to scale up and grow.
Much faster.
So for you as an investor, this adaptability means the companies you invest in can be proactive.
Instead of reactive.
Exactly. And as Galleher points out in his article, these companies can jump on opportunities more easily.
Like what kinds of opportunities are we talking about?
Well, like expanding into new markets.
Oh, yeah. Emerging markets.
Or adopting cutting-edge technologies.
Makes sense.
Or even just like fine-tuning their products or services.
Yeah. To meet really specific needs.
Right. So they can stay ahead of the game.
Interesting.
And tap into growth that those bigger, less flexible companies might totally miss.
So it's like finding those hidden pockets of growth.
Exactly. And this leads us to another really interesting point that Galleher makes.
Okay. What's that?
He talks about niche market opportunities.
Niche market opportunities, yeah.
And this is where things get really interesting.
All right, I'm listening.
So instead of trying to be everything to everyone,
right,
a lot of these lower middle market companies,
yeah,
they go all in on specializing.
Oh, they're really focused.
They pick a very specific niche.
Okay.
And they might offer a product or service that bigger corporations just aren't interested in.
Right. Or maybe they just can't do it efficiently.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that their success often hinges on this laser focus.
They become the experts.
They build this incredibly deep expertise in that one specific area.
Right.
Maybe they develop proprietary technology that's hard to copy. Or they just have this incredible understanding of their industry.
I see.
And that specialization creates a barrier to entry for competitors.
Oh, so it's harder for others to jump in and compete with them.
Exactly. And that helps them stay profitable over time.
Yeah, that's smart.
And for private equity firms or strategic buyers, Galleher calls this specialization a gold mine.
A gold mine? Okay, why is that?
Because you're not just buying any old business.
Right.
You're gaining instant access to a dedicated customer base.
Oh, wow. Customers who already love the product.
Exactly. And you're getting a product or service that's already proven to be successful.
Yeah, within that specific niche.
In a real competitive edge within that market.
Right. They've already figured out the formula.
And what's also attractive, especially when the economy's a bit shaky.
Yeah, like we've been seeing.
These niche businesses often have more predictable revenue.
Oh, because they're serving a consistent need.
Exactly. Their customers are less likely to jump ship.
Even when times are tough.
Right. And Galleher gives us a great example.
Oh, what is it?
He talks about a regional franchising company.
Okay.
That has really strong unit-level economics.
Unit-level economics meaning?
It means each individual franchise location is profitable.
Oh, I see.
And they have a really solid track record in their specific territory.
So they're killing it locally.
Yeah, they might not be a household name nationwide.
Like a Starbucks or something.
Right. But in their region, they've built a really solid and profitable business.
That makes sense.
And their strong local ties and their efficient operations make them super valuable to investors.
Especially those looking for steady strategic growth.
And this leads us to another key aspect that Galleher emphasizes.
Okay, right.
He calls it platform buy and build strategies.
Platform buy and build strategies. That's a mouthful.
I know, right?
Yes.
And this is an area where the lower middle market really shines.
Break it down for me.
So for those who aren't familiar, what is a platform buy and build strategy?
Yeah, I'm all ears.
Well, it's essentially using one company as a base to acquire other companies.
Oh, interesting. So you're using one as a foundation to build on.
Exactly. And Galleher points out that unlike the very top tier of M&A,
yeah, those mega deals,
where there might be only a handful of buyers for a giant corporation.
Right. Fewer players at that level.
The lower middle market has way more competition.
Oh, more potential buyers.
Exactly. And that drives up the value of the companies being sold.
Oh, so it's good for the sellers.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But why is this good for buyers?
Yeah, that's the question.
Because a lot of these lower middle market companies are founder-led or family-owned.
Okay.
And these owners have often poured their heart and soul into their businesses.
Makes sense.
And while they might be ready to sell, they also really care about the company culture.
Oh, yeah.
And the long-term vision for what they built.
That's understandable.
So for a buyer, this is a great opportunity.
Oh, so?
Because they can bring more than just money to the table.
Like what else?
They can offer operational expertise.
Oh.
And resources to help the business grow to its full potential.
I see.
So the platform company is that initial acquisition.
Right, that solid foundation.
And then the buy and build part comes in.
Okay.
Where the investor strategically looks for other businesses.
To add to the platform.
Exactly, businesses that complement the original company.
Oh, so they fit together like puzzle pieces.
Yeah, and by making these add-on acquisitions, investors can create a lot of value.
How so?
They can boost growth.
Okay.
Increase market share. Achieve operational efficiencies.
Oh, like streamlining things.
Right, and potentially even expand into new product lines or geographic areas.
Oh, wow, so it's about strategic expansion.
Exactly, and Galleher really emphasizes that this dynamic this combination of strong buyer interest
Yeah.
and the potential for big growth through buy and build is a major reason why the middle market is so attractive.
For investors looking for those impressive returns.
Exactly. It's not just about buying one company. Yeah. It's about building something much bigger and more valuable.
Through a series of acquisitions.
Now, Galleher also talks about what it takes to succeed in this market.
Oh, so it's not just a guaranteed win.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
He stresses that investors need to be precise
Okay.
and have a clear strategy.
Makes sense.
It all starts with understanding the business inside and out.
Oh, really digging deep.
Everything from their daily operations to their position in the market.
Got it.
And he talks about how his firm, Boxwood Partners,
Yeah.
they prioritize building relationships with companies
Oh, that's interesting.
long before any talk of a transaction even happens.
So it's about building trust.
Exactly, becoming a trusted advisor
I see.
and really understanding the business from the inside.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's not just about showing up with a checkbook at the last minute.
Right. It's about a deeper understanding.
And this approach
Yeah.
allows them to really assess the company's strengths and weaknesses
Oh, so they get a clearer picture.
and their potential for growth.
Mm-hmm.
And Galleher also points out that the best investors in this space, they bring more than just money.
Okay.
They might offer access to new technology
Oh, wow. That's valuable.
or operational expertise
Right.
or even connections to new markets.
So it's like a partnership.
Exactly, more than just a transaction.
That's a good way to put it.
So looking ahead, what does Galleher see for the future of this market?
Yeah. What's his prediction?
Well, he's quite optimistic.
Okay.
He believes the lower middle market will stay really active.
Oh, so it's not a fading trend.
No, he thinks it'll be a key part of M&A for the rest of this year and beyond.
Ah, that's interesting.
And he suggests that the economic uncertainty we're seeing
Yeah, the ups and downs.
might actually drive even more investors towards these types of businesses.
Because they're seen as more stable.
Exactly. They offer that stability and scalability. They're not as exposed to the crazy volatility that can hit those giant global corporations. These middle market companies often have really strong fundamentals.
Yeah, a solid foundation.
A loyal customer base within their niche.
Uh-huh.
And that agility we talked about.
Right, they can adapt quickly.
So Galleher's message to potential buyers is clear.
What is it?
Don't overlook this segment.
Don't underestimate it.
He highlights those key advantages again.
The agility, the niche markets, the buy and build.
Exactly. And he believes it's a really compelling way to achieve strong returns and long-term growth.
Makes sense.
And it's interesting, he also points out that the benefits go beyond just the investors.
Oh, okay, how so?
These investments can help smaller businesses reach their full potential,
Right.
which creates value not just for the investors, but for the communities and industries they serve.
Oh, that's a great point. It has a ripple effect.
It does. It's a more holistic view of the impact.
I like that.
So just to recap what we've discussed,
Yeah, let's summarize.
we've learned that the lower middle market in M&A
Those deals between 10 and 500 million.
offer some serious advantages for investors.
Right, as Patrick Galleher explained.
We talked about the agility of these companies, their focus on profitable niche markets, and the exciting opportunities for buy and build strategies.
It's a fascinating part of the M&A world.
And it often gets overshadowed by those mega deals.
Right, the ones that make the headlines.
But clearly there's a lot of potential there.
For those who dig a little deeper.
Absolutely. And hopefully this deep dive into Galleher's insights has given you a fresh perspective.
I think it has.
It shows that by looking beyond the billion-dollar deals, you can uncover some serious value.
Hidden gems.
So considering these advantages, the agility, the niche, focus, the potential for buy and build,
All in the lower middle market.
what other seemingly smaller or less prominent areas of the economy might also hold that kind of hidden potential?
That's a great question to ponder.
It really is food for thought. Makes you wonder what else we might be overlooking
Right. What other opportunities are out there?
by focusing too much on the big players.
Yeah, the big fish.
Exactly. Sometimes the real innovation and growth is happening in those less obvious places.
Absolutely. It's all about perspective.
It really is. Thanks for joining me today.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to all our listeners out there, happy investing.
And keep exploring.
Acquiring a business? BizNexus simplifies it. Access thousands of updated opportunities in our DIY marketplace or supercharge team sourcing with OmniSource, your all-in-one platform for on-market, off-market, and coming-soon deals. Scale smarter today. Learn more or book a demo at www.biznexus.com.